All right, here's something I've never done before. All right, something completely different today. Wow. So I've never done anything live before ever, and so this is completely off the cuff. I was cleaning up the house. You know, with this COVID thing, we're all probably doing a lot more cleaning than we originally thought we would be, and I found some stuff. I found some really, really cool stuff, and I found only a fraction of the shows that I've been to over the years, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it right now. I'm 50. I was 14 in 1984, so you can do the math. I've seen probably well over 200 hard rock, and metal shows, and I only have 57 of the tickets here. And I guess that's because sometime in the early 2000s we switched to paper tickets or no tickets at all. But I got some doozies here, and like I said, I was cleaning up the attic. We don't really have an attic, but we've got kind of a junk room, and I found some of my old tickets. I thought maybe I would go. I'd go through these with you. Some of you, this will be a trip down memory lane. I don't even know whether the audio. I've never done this before, so I don't even know whether the audio is any good or not. Of course, I probably don't have any viewers, but who cares? This is going to be for me anyway. All right, so in no particular order, I'm going to take a trip down memory lane. And like I said, no particular order whatsoever. Here we go. This is from August 28th, 1987. This is Motley Crue and Whitesnake. And that's backwards. Is it freaking backwards? Probably backwards. All right, we get the point though. So Motley Crue, Whitesnake. Check it out. Section 2, row C. We were third row center on this show, and the way we got these tickets is obviously I was a teenager. We used to have to camp out for tickets back in those days, and one of the local places I'm from Fairfax, Virginia. One of the local places was a university called George Mason University, and instead of camping out overnight, they'd have a lottery. Like tickets went on sale at 10 a.m. and this is before the internet, so you didn't have all that nonsense in terms of all the competition with the internet. But essentially, what happened was at 9 a.m. if tickets were going on sale at 10, they'd have a lottery at 9, and whatever number you picked out of a hat, that's what number in line you were. Well, me and my buddies, there's probably somewhere between 6 and 10 of them at any given time. We were always at these lotteries. We'd have 3 or 4 of us go, and over the course of several years, we developed a network. And I remember this one. This one was one where there was 1,000 people in line, and none of me and my buddies picked a good number for this one. But we had met some girls, I think, at a previous line, and we drew 2 good numbers, and we gave them one of our numbers. So they returned the favor here, and they picked number 1 and like number 6 in line, and they gave us number 6. So that's how we were able to see Motley Crue. I think 1987. I'm gonna guess and say this is the Girls tour. I'm not sure. I forget. But it was Whitesnake. The Whitesnake album. Great freaking show. And I guess I probably can't take this much time with each and every single one of them. All right, so here we go. It says Friday, July 22nd, but it doesn't say what year. But this is Def Leppard at Merriweather Post Pavilion. Anybody who's from Maryland knows about Merriweather Post Pavilion. The place is just an amazing place to see the show. All the M3 shows are at the Merriweather Post Pavilion now. Now, back in the day, this place was just a shithole. It was a dump. All they had was beer and puke and piss, and that's all they had. And now it's all fancy. They've got I always saw a show. I saw M3 there a few years ago, and they had freaking sushi and wine. So anyhow, some of the times have changed, but I really haven't. But this was Def Leppard, and I always write down on the back who opened. This was Europe, the Final Countdown, which I am not a Europe fan, but it is what it is. Sometimes you're just forced to see who you're forced to see. All right, what do we got here? We got another one without a year. But I know this had to be from probably 88. David Lee Roth. This is the Eat 'em and Smile tour. So 88, no, 85. Eat 'em and Smile tour. Or maybe not. Let me take that back. Poison opened up for him on the, that was Poison's first tour. So whenever that album came out, I saw Poison way more times than I care to mention, unfortunately, because Poison opened up for David Lee Roth a bunch of times. And I think the Poison opened up for Def Leppard. That's why I saw him so many times. But anyhow, that's David Lee Roth. This was with Steve Vai, Billy Sheehan, and Greg Bissonette. Probably, what was his first? Eat 'em and Smile? That must have been Eat 'em and Smile and Poison's first album. Now, this one's not rock or metal, but let me tell you something. John Cougar Mellencamp, this was on not the Scarecrow tour, but the one after Scarecrow. I forget what it was called. I got to tell you something. There were more gorgeous women at this show than any metal show I've ever seen in my entire life. It was a lot of fun. So John Cougar Mellencamp, that was in 87. All right, here we go. All right, this is, check it out, baby. March 12th, 1987. Rat. And I saw Poison again. Poison open up for Rat. So look what the cat dragged in. That must mean that this was Dancing Undercover tour, I think. I don't remember. But yeah, Rat in 87. Unfreaking believable show. Here we go. All right, what do we got here? All right, so this right here, August 8th, 1980 something. This was the Van Halen 5150 show when they first toured with Sammy. So I don't remember what year that was. They broke up in 85, so that must mean this was 86 on the 5150 tour. So pretty cool. What else we got? Oh God. Oh, freaking frack. Oh, this is why I want to do this live. Fucking A, man. This was the shit right here. The first time I ever saw Maiden was on January 8th, 1987. Maiden and Yngwie. I think, was this Somewhere in Time or was this Seventh Son? This might have been Seventh Son, if I remember correctly. Unfreaking believable. First time I ever saw Maiden. I've probably seen them no less than 10 times since then. Check it out. Maiden for $15.50. You gotta love it. And I'm not an Yngwie fan, so whatever. Sometimes you just take what you get. All right, boys and girls. It's kind of funny. I'm a bigger Cinderella fan than I am a Bon Jovi fan, but sometimes you gotta endure. This is actually the Slippery tour, if I remember correctly, 86. Bon Jovi, but freaking Cinderella Night songs. What a show! And I don't mean to cause controversy out there to you Bon Jovi people, but fucking Cinderella kicked their asses. It was amazing. All right, boys and girls, here we go. This is the first rock show I ever saw in my entire life, ever, was Rush in 1985. If I remember correctly, it was the Power Windows tour, and it was amazing. I was 15 years old. I never smelled so much pot before in my entire life, and it looks like the Steve something band opened up for Rush. Have no idea who the Steve something band was. Probably don't care. All right, here we go. Again, saw Roth a couple of times on that Eat 'em and Smile tour. Saw him April 15th, 1988, and Poison opened up for Roth on that tour as well. Pretty sweet. Let's see what else we got here. Oh man, yeah, baby. AC/DC in 88. I don't remember what tour it was, but look at that. Section 2, row D. Section 2 is on the floor in the middle. Row D is fourth frickin' row. AC/DC in 88, before Brian Johnson lost his voice. And I'm not an LA Guns fan, so whatever. LA Guns. All right, here we go. Friday, June 19 something, not sure when, but I saw Rat and Poison again. There's Rat and Poison again. Pretty cool. Is this backwards? I don't know whether it's backwards or not, but whatever. I don't give a shit. All right. All right, baby. Right here. This is this was, well, I call it getting an opportunity to see Metallica on the Master of Puppets tour, but It was also Van Halen OU812, Kingdom Come's first album. Dokken, was it Under Lock and Key? Yeah, Dokken, Under Lock and Key. Metallica, Kill 'Em All. No, Metallica, Master of Puppets. Van Halen OU812, and the fucking Scorpions. It was that crappy album. The crappy album that Savage Amusement, I think. Here's what happened. Kingdom Come was just kind of meh. Metallica came out and turned all of the amps up to like 15 and blew everything. You couldn't hear Metallica. I mean, you could hear them, but all it was just freaking static. It just was absolutely. It was ear piercing, which I'm fine with, but it sucked. They were not good in an arena, at least in DC they weren't on that particular day. Dokken was okay. And then came the fucking Scorpions. Oh my God. The Scorpions on that particular day blew everybody away. Hands down. No competition whatsoever. And then they lit the field on fire, so it was like 2 more hours before Van Halen came on. And Van Halen came on and they were good. They were as good as Van Halen with Sammy can be. Oh, no, he didn't. Yeah, he did. All right. They were good. They were good. But I'm going to say that I worked my way up in the crowd all the way to the front row up against this plywood barrier. And I'll spare you the scar, but I still have the scar because, the Led Zeppelin song, The Ocean, the crowd was actually moving from side to side. And I didn't have a shirt on, I don't think. And my chest was just rubbing against that piece of plywood. So here I am. I'm on Eddie's side. I'm probably 15 feet from Eddie Van Halen. He's playing the solo to Panama, and I'm not enjoying myself, which, my whole life had culminated into that one moment to get a chance to see Eddie that close. And I wasn't enjoying myself because the ocean was I was just sliding back and forth on that piece of plywood. People were going over the piece of plywood. Underneath the stage, they had a care center. And I actually went over the wall into the care center. And then when I exited the care center, I had to go all the way back up into the grandstands. But it was a good show. Scorpions were hands down. I mean, just woof, hands down the best of the best. And that was on June 10, 1988. Monsters of Rock. Let's see what we got. Well, all right. So now here's one. We're going to jump ahead. This is Rat in 97. So I think it was. I don't remember. Honestly, I feel bad. I don't remember when Robin Crosby died. I don't think Robin Crosby was with them on this tour. I remember that fucking Warren DeMartini was the shit. He was fucking amazing. He was the entire show. And Stephen Pearcy, yes, I'm going to say it out loud. Stephen Pearcy was a dick. There was probably 250 people at this show. And Pearcy's ego, as much as I love Rat, and I love Rat, but Pearcy's ego, what a dick. He had a cold and he was sneezing and he was coughing. And he was blowing snot loogies at the crowd out of his nose. He hit the dude next to me right in the face. Lost all respect for Stephen Pearcy right there and then. But fucking Rat, you gotta love him. Gotta love him as a band. All right, here we go. What do we got here? This is Bon Jovi in 1989. I saw Bon Jovi way more times than I care to admit, but I did see them back when they were good. And when I say it all fell apart in my mind for Bon Jovi, it all fell apart after New Jersey. After New Jersey, all that shit was just fluff. That was just fluffy fluff. And then I had to endure probably another 10 times with Bon Jovi through the 90s and the 2000s because my wife wanted to go see them. And I'll never forget the Bounce tour. That fucking show was just awful. That's where I lost respect for Bon Jovi. But anyways, Bon Jovi and Skid Row. Skid Row was awesome. So all good there. All right. Oh, man. So I'm from the DC metro area. So getting a chance to see Kicks at Hammerjacks. Anybody out there? I nobody's going to watch this video, but if anybody does, if you guys remember seeing shows at Hammerjacks, that was a little bar in Baltimore, and it was fucking amazing. So met a bunch of guys in Kicks that night. That was really cool. And I've got to say, Steve Whiteman, the guy is fucking funny as you would think he was. Absolutely hilarious, cool to hang out with. All right, so here we go. Here's another. Now, I am not going to apologize for this. I am just not going to. But we camped out for a day and a half. In this, not at the school, but someplace else where we camped out. We met some really, 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 really nice chicks camping out. So this show is very, very special to me. Striper, baby, Striper. But look at that, section 4. What is that? Section 4, row 3. So section 4 on the floor, row 3. So we were third row. Oh, that's O. That's O for the orchestra pit. So section 4 orchestra pit. So I was basically at Tim Gaines' feet for this show, and it was awesome. They put on a really, really good show. This was 88, so Hell with the Devil, something like that. I don't know. It was awesome. Okay. All right. Top fucking 3 shows ever. Top 3. This is a piece of work right here. This is the fucking Scorpions. Check it out. Section 2. That's the middle. Row fucking A, baby. Seat 7. This is a front row fucking center seat to the Scorpions in 88, which was Savage Amusement. Oh my God. Those guys back then could deliver in spades. It was amazing. Anybody out there who's seen them, you know, they were fucking amazing back then. All right, so dated a girl who liked progressive music and went to this show reluctantly, but had a really, really good time. This was In Excess in 88. This was the Kick Tour. I had an amazing time. It was a lot of fun. I don't remember what is that? Ziggy Marley. Ziggy Marley opened up for In Excess in 88. Yeah. R.I.P. Michael Hutchence. All right, here we go. Here's another Whitesnake show. This is Whitesnake from 88. Merriweather Post again, and Great White open for them. Once again, I cannot get me enough Scorpions, but I'm going to say something. That 88 show was amazing. This 96 show, it was less than amazing. It was all right. This is the last time I saw the Scorpions because the show just didn't deliver. Oops. But still, when the Scorpions don't deliver, that means they're still better than most. So Scorpions and Alice Cooper. Oh, here we go. All right, I'm a Dokken fan. I'm a huge Dokken fan. I'm an obsessed Dokken fan because of George Lynch mainly. But if you get an opportunity to go see Don the Man, you go see Don the Man. This is at a bar. He's a cocky, arrogant son of a bitch, but it was a good show. It was a good show. That's all I got to say. This is at the Bayou in Georgetown, Washington, D.C. Saw Don Dokken. I don't remember who opened, if anybody. All right. My best friend in the whole wide world, Greg, biggest Springsteen fan in the whole wide world. And I am this was a unique honor. He's you've got the Kiss Army. My friend Greg is in whatever the Bruce Springsteen equivalent is, and we got tickets to see Springsteen at this DAR Constitution Hall. Seeing Springsteen in a venue with about 1,500 people or whatever the number was, it was pretty amazing. So that was when was this? November. I don't know what year it was, but we saw Springsteen in a very, very small venue. It was a hell of a lot of fun. Oh fuck! Oh yeah, this. Okay, I don't remember the second half of this show for obvious reasons, but Pink Floyd, where was this? RFK Stadium, Pink Floyd, David Gilmour, unfucking believable. Roger Waters was gone at this point, but this is the Momentary Lapse of Reason tour. Pink Floyd at RFK in 94. We were so far away. We were in the upper deck in the clouds, but because of the laser, it was still amazing, even being that far away. All right, here we go. This is the Hell Freezes Over tour. It was RFK Stadium. Saw the Eagles in 94. Sheryl Crow opened, and I remember Sheryl Crow, I think, was like, never heard of her before. I remember thinking when I saw Sheryl Crow that this chick is going to be around for a long time, and she still is. She's one of the few. All right. My wife loves Billy Joel. I love my wife. So I've seen Billy Joel a lot of times. It's Billy Joel in 93. Aerosmith from 93. Right there. I don't really remember it. Not so memorable. I've seen Aerosmith enough times to where I just don't remember it. Kicks, The Bayou in Georgetown. I see Kicks anytime I get an opportunity to see Kicks, but I don't think there is a Kicks anymore. 93. Ugly Kid Joe and Def Leppard, September 5th, 1993. Not an Ugly Kid Joe fan. I think by this time, Vivian Campbell was with them, if I remember correctly. Merriweather? I don't remember. I don't know whether Vivian was with them or not. No, I saw Vivian with them later. So no, I'm going to go ahead and say this was the original. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Not that anybody's watching this video, but I don't give a shit. Holy fuck. Look at this. I totally forgot about this show. Vince Neil opening up for Van Halen. Crazy. Don't even remember it. 93. Don't remember a thing. All right. Here's another obligatory Bon Jovi show with the wife. 93. Oh, yeah, this was a good one. This was at Pier 6 in Baltimore, I think. Dream Theater in 93. I think that was that Images and Words, or was that the second album? I don't remember. It's been a long time. Yes, I have seen Van Halen a lot of times. There's the 92 tour. I've probably seen Van Halen, 15 times. An Evening with Def Leppard in 1992. Pretty cool. Don't remember it. Ooh, I remember this one though. This is a good. These guys can put on a fucking show right here. This was Queensryche on the Empire tour. This was badass. This is before that shitstorm of an album that came out after Empire, where Jeff Tate was the biggest egotistical shit in the world, and that show fucking sucked. But the Empire tour and Mindcrime, fucking unbelievable. And then I saw him on, I think there was a Return to Mindcrime tour or something like that. All right, here is the only time that I can ever say that I camped out for 4 straight fucking days. 4 straight days. But what an unbelievable opportunity. I went to Clemson and I saw the fucking Stones in Death Valley in Clemson while I was at school in 89. This was, what tour was this? I don't remember. What fucking tour was that? It had one hit to the body, and I don't remember. Anyhow, Stones in Death Valley. Unbelievable. Of course, you never, ever, ever turn down an opportunity to see Rush. Neil Peart, rest in peace, 1990. Don't have any idea what tour that was. Here's another obligatory The Wife Takes Me to Bon Jovi in 2003. Don't remember what tour that was. Oh, this one was good. This one was really good. I'm actually surprised at how good this show was. So David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar on their 2002 tour. And I must say that whoever the guitarist was for Dave that night, I think it was that guy from the Atomic Punks. I don't remember whether it was the guy from the Atomic Punks or not, but Dave's version of Eddie Van Halen was Dave blew fucking Sammy off the stage. That's all I'm going to say. Sammy was awesome. Dave, way fucking better. So there's that. All right, obligatory. I have to say that I hate country music, but Kenny Chesney to me is kind of like going to see Jimmy Buffett in concert. It's a good time. Lots and lots of women with not a whole lot of clothes on. So you can't ridicule me for wanting to go to that. All right, here's like I said, my buddy Greg, Springsteen in 99. That was a good show. The one time I ever saw Jimmy B, it was a good show. A lot of skin at this show too, if I remember correctly. Oh, who am I kidding? I remember correctly. There's a lot of skin at that show. That was a lot of fun. And another Billy Joel show from 98, yada yada. All right. Why do you go see Poison in concert? There's only one redeemable reason to go see Poison in concert, and that is if Tesla is opening up. I had to endure Poison probably 4 times from 88 to 92 or whatever it was because I wanted to see Cinderella. Cinderella? What did I just say? Cinderella, Poison? Was it Cinderella? No, Tesla. Cinderella opened up for Poison, and they blew Poison off the stage, if I remember correctly. And Tesla opened up for Poison and blew Poison off the stage. So, yeah, the ticket says Poison, but I went for the opening act. Tickets are getting a little bit more expensive. $33 there in 2000. What do we got here? Oh, shit. It's a shit. Whoa. Okay, so not rock and roll at all, but my first concert ever in the entire history of my existence on this planet was Loretta Lynn in 1983. Check it out at the Playboy Club. They don't even have that anymore. The Playboy Club. My old man took me to see Loretta Lynn at the Playboy Club when I was 13 years old. Love you, Dad. Wow, I saw Bon Jovi a lot of times. This is Bon Jovi in 2003. That's why I will never see Bon Jovi again. I told my wife several years ago that she's going to have to, if she wants to go see Bon Jovi, she's got to go with her girlfriends. And she has for like the last 5 tours. So, all right. Yeah. What can I say? Rush, 97. Pretty sweet. Merriweather Post Pavilion presents Styx and Kansas. And I will say that in 1978, Pieces of 8 came out, and I had not heard Van Halen or Rush yet. And I remember I was a huge Styx fan even at age 8 years old. I remember when Pieces of 8 came out, and I considered that rocking. That was pretty cool. So yeah. All right, here we go. Ooh, Section 2, Row L in 1989. Rat, Kix, and Brittany Fox. 89. Pretty cool. Good show, I think. All right, here you go. This is why you go see Poison. You go see Poison if Tesla opens up. It's as simple as that. 1989, that had to have been not Mechanical Resonance, but what was the second album? Shit, man, my mind is gone. Yeah. 89. It's gotta be Tesla's second album. Something like that. Look at that. Section 3, Row N. Pretty good seats. All right. 1988. All right, so there's Def Leppard in 98. And the reason why I was laughing is because, yes, I'm a huge Tesla fan. Fucking love those guys. So Def Leppard in 88 with Tesla. All right. Oh, the most disappointing show in my entire life. Aerosmith and Dokken. I wanted to see George Lynch so bad. I would have given my left nut back then to see George Lynch. And one song into the show, George actually collapsed on stage. And I actually have some friends who met Dokken the night before in Greensboro. And they said that George was running 103 fever. So, yeah, 1987. Under Lock and Key or Tooth and Nail? I don't remember. I'm going to go with Under Lock and Key. No, Tooth and Nail was like 85. George Lynch passes out on stage 3 minutes into the show, and I don't get to see Dokken. Aerosmith was really good that night, as disappointed as I was. Yes, I will admittedly say on the internets that I've seen Stryper more than once, and I don't apologize for it. Yeah, Aerosmith, oh shit, fucking A, man. This is the one and only time Axl Rose ever got a fucking penny for me. Guns N' Roses and Aerosmith. Now, Guns opened up for Aerosmith, and that was still back when they were hungry. And Axl still sucked. I take it back. I saw this show. The reason why I've got so much animosity for Axl Rose is because on that Metallica tour, I went to one of those shows. Metallica came on first. Metallica was awesome. And then fucking Axl and his prima donna little shit wouldn't come on, and I think we ended up. They didn't realize that they were playing a venue that had a noise restriction that forced the venue to shut down at 11. So Axl fucking doesn't come on until 10. I think we got maybe 40 minutes of Guns N' Roses, of which Axl was just being a dick. Yes, I said a dick. Axl, fuck you. You took so many people's money. Yeah, you suck. But I will say this. A buddy of mine saw Axl with AC/DC and said that Axl was on his best behavior and that they were really, really, really good. All right, here we go. The one and only time I saw the Prince of Darkness was Ozzy and White Lion, I think, was the Shot in the Dark. Shot in the Dark. Is that what that album was called? I don't know. Forgive me for singing. But there. So, and then there's one left. There's only one. I don't know. This is like 57 tickets. I've seen 250 shows. I've seen Van Halen probably another 5-6 times I don't have ticket stubs for. I know I've seen Maiden another 4 or 5 times that I don't have ticket stubs for. I've seen Tesla in bars umpteen times in the last, 10 years, just because. And I will say this. All right, hold on. Let me get to the very last one. I don't know how this is possible. Why I have a ticket. This is a ticket for Maiden in 2019. 2019. That's like last year. 2019. They played what they played? Did they play Seventh Son all the way through? Was it Seventh Son the Revisited? I think it was Seventh Son Revisited. I don't remember. And there were people in this crowd that weren't even alive when I saw them back in 87 and 88. I saw the Seventh Son tour, and I saw Seventh Son and the one before that, Somewhere in Time. And then things went wrong with Maiden. And, as soon as when Adrian left and Bruce left, I was like, whatever. And then I didn't see him again until both Adrian and Bruce were back. But I'm going to go ahead and say this. There's another ticket that's missing. I've seen the Foo Fighters no less than 5 times. Don't have a stub for it at all. But I've seen a lot of shows, and I know a good show from a bad show. There's not a whole lot in the world that I know well, but what I do know well is a good fucking metal show. And I'm going to go ahead and say this. The Foo Fighters, they came to Charlotte for the DNC 4 years ago. So 2020? 2016. And they were off tour, and they were getting ready to do a show for the DNC that next night. They were off tour. They hadn't played together in a long time. They played in a bar. There's probably, less than 1,000 people in this place. I mean, I was probably, from here to here to Dave Grohl. They played, are you ready for this? The fucking Foos, they played for 4 hours. It was, first of all, Dave Grohl can deliver. I mean, he delivers in a way that very, very few people deliver. Dave Grohl can be in an arena with 80,000 people and somehow connect with every single person in the audience. It's just amazing. David Lee Roth used to be able to do that. David Lee Roth would go out on the edge of the stage, put his hands up in the air, and put the mic out, and with his mouth wide open like you'd never seen an audience. Dave was a master at working an audience. The whole look at all the fucking people here tonight thing. Yeah, sure, it was shtick, but the first time you saw it, maybe even the second, third, and fourth time you saw it, it was still fucking amazing. It was amazing. So back to Dave Grohl. So the Foos played their normal set, and they always end with Everlong. And Dave, 2.5 hours into it, Dave's looking down at the stage. He's looking down at the set list, and he says, we're at that song now. And he says, yeah, I really don't want to play that song right now. And he looks back at Taylor, and he's like, hey, you got more in you? And Taylor's like, yeah, for sure. And Dave's like, all right, let's play something off the first album. They play the first song, the first side of the first album. And then they proceed to play the entire first album all the way through song by song for 45, 50 minutes or whatever. Non-stop. Didn't stop. No bullshit. No nothing. At the end of this, so now we're probably 3.5 hours into it, Dave looks back at Taylor, and Taylor is just a puddle of sweat. I mean, it was amazing. And Dave says to Taylor, he says, you got more in you? And Taylor's like, I guess so. He's like, all right, let's play something off the second album. So they played the entire second album from start to freaking finish. Who does that besides Springsteen? I mean, unbelievable. And the show was amazing. And one of the funniest things I've ever seen was I saw Dave Grohl was on Dave Letterman. And Dave Letterman reaches across the desk and he puts his hand on Grohl's arm, and he says, I'm worried about you, Dave. And Grohl says, well, why? He says, because you scream so much. I'm worried that you're not going to have a voice by the time you hit, this is probably 15 years ago, by the time you hit 40 or whatever. And Grohl says, you know something? He says, the more I scream, the stronger my voice gets. And if you've never seen the Foos, and take it from a guy who's seen a bunch of fucking shows, if you've never seen the Foos, there are two bands, in my opinion, that you must see if you're a metal fan or a hard rock fan, whatever the fuck you want to label it. Two bands that you must see of all the bands that I've ever seen in my entire life. There are two that deliver year after year after year, hands down, and that is Maiden and the Foos. Hands down, better than anybody else. And I'm going to surprise you with my number 3 pick because of who my favorite bands are. But you know who else fucking delivers in concert? Tesla. Tesla delivers time after time after time. You take guys like frickin' Dave Grohl and Jeff Keith, their voices over the years. Jeff Keith's voice sounds as good in concert today as it did on Mechanical Resonance. So you take guys like, and I love him. I mean, you take guys like David Lee Roth and Paul Stanley, and they just can't deliver it anymore. They just, Brian Johnson. I mean, Brian Johnson, you knew when you heard Brian Johnson singing, that voice was not going to last. And I'm a huge AC/DC fan, but I can't. It pains me to hear guys like Brian Johnson and David Lee Roth struggle through a set list these days, whereas Dave Grohl, Jeff Keith, they just deliver. They deliver in spades. So I am a concert snob. I've seen every metal band I've ever wanted to see. There are no acts that I haven't seen that I wanted to see, with one exception. One exception. And that was August 10th or August 20th? August 20th, 1984, I think. I don't remember. I had a ticket to see Van Halen on the 1984 tour. I was 14 years old, and I had a ticket. And report cards came out the day before. My mom was doing the laundry. She found my report card. It wasn't even a report card. It was an interim report card. It wasn't even the real thing. It didn't even count. She found that interim report card, and there was a couple letters that were south of a C. And I didn't get to go see Van Halen with David Lee Roth before they broke up. I kid you not. I was so negatively impacted by that 30, 35, however many years later, my mom in her last couple of months, I was by her bedside, and she says, one of my biggest regrets in life. And I said, what? And she says, I didn't let you go see Van Halen. She says, and you don't know me well enough to know what a freaking Van Halen freak I am. I mean, it's over the top, just ridiculous how much let's just go with that. But anyhow, and I told my mom, I was like, look, I said, it's not a big deal. It's just one of those life lessons. I never got bad grades and missed another show because of it. So anyhow, I'm going to get into the whole Van Halen thing at some point because there's another box down there. I found all my Van Halen stuff, all my concert shirts. I mean, just the tickets. I'm 38 minutes into this thing right now, and nobody's watching, but I don't really give a shit. Maybe someday I'll look back on this and laugh. But yeah, there were a lot of bands that I saw that were just not memorable, and I don't want to offend anybody, but I mean, I probably saw Aerosmith 6 times. I don't really remember any of them, but man, there were Maiden shows and Foo shows and Tesla shows, and I remember seeing Queensryche in a bar a few years ago with it was amazing. It was Jeff Tate's version of Queensryche, and Rudy Sarzo was playing bass, and Rudy was like from here to me, and I got a chance to talk to Rudy that night. And what a metal god! I mean, Rudy. He was in fucking Quiet Riot. I mean, right when they start, was Rudy? Did Rudy ever play for Ozzy? I think he did. I think Rudy played for Ozzy. Played in Quiet Riot. He was so he was in Quiet Riot when Quiet Riot was when they reached their top. Rudy was in Whitesnake when Whitesnake reached its top. Where'd you go after Whitesnake? I don't remember. But damn, that was metal royalty, getting a chance to get a few minutes to talk to Rudy Sarzo. Pretty sweet. So anyhow, this is my little trip down memory lane. For those of you who missed the era, I'm sorry. Thank God for YouTube. Thank God for YouTube, because I will tell you, and there's probably, well, not listening to this right now, but I know there are people out there just like me that stayed up watching Headbangers Ball with your finger on the record button to try to record whatever video it was. And for me, it was Panama by Van Halen. I had seen Panama, but I didn't have it recorded. And I remember Headbangers Ball after Headbangers Ball after Headbangers Ball. I remember getting mad at Def Leppard because they got so much airplay and Van Halen didn't get hardly any love on Headbangers Ball. But at one time, at some point, not during Headbangers Ball, at 3:10 in the morning, that airplane came across the screen and I hit that button and I was able to get Panama, and it took months. Nowadays, man, you just go to YouTube. Who's calling me? Nowadays, you just go to YouTube and you just go to YouTube and you just punch in Panama, but you got the whole world at your fingertips. So I'm not going to get on my whole "you kids have it so good these days" thing, but you kids have it so good these days. We all do. All right, so I don't know. This was just for fun. I don't know. I've never ever done. Yeah, for those of you who know me, I've got another YouTube channel. That my automotive YouTube channel. It's called Tahoe Steve, and I've got 300, 400. I don't know how many videos, but over 26,000 subscribers and almost 8 million hits or something. I've never done a live before, so I'm using this channel as an opportunity to fuck around and do a live. But I'm gonna go ahead and kill it for here. I don't know. We'll see how if this gets any response whatsoever. But yeah, I might just say fuck it and do it anyway. I got the concert shirts and then the deep dive on the Van Halen stuff. If you're out there and you think you're a Van Halen fan, I'll go toe to toe with you. I definitely will go toe to toe with you. So I mean, this by no means is the $26,000 one, but I built it myself for under $500. And yeah, I'm a Van Halen fan like nobody's business, and metal in general. I lost sleep last night thinking about videos that I could do about music. It'd be nice if somebody actually watched so that it was worth my while. But man, I was thinking about, and this is just for me so that I can remember later. I was thinking about 5 best guitarists. Who are they? 5 best bassists, 5 best drummers, 5 best singers. And here's one that I was thinking, fucking A. This is why I don't do live shit. I'm gonna finish up this stream here. Start returning some of these calls. I was thinking at 4:00 in the morning. 4:00 in the morning this morning, I was thinking about my favorite guitar duos, and I was thinking about fucking Maiden. Dave Murray and Adrian Smith. I was thinking about the Scorpions, Tesla, obviously, Frank Hannon, and used to be Tommy Skioth or however you pronounce his last name. Now it's Tommy and the new guy, who's actually been in Tesla for probably 15 years. He's still the new guy. But yeah, my favorite guitar duos. Oh, Robin Crosby and Warren DeMartini. I'm sorry, but fuck, man, those two together are amazing. Amazing guitarist. So that we could, it'd be fun if I had like somebody watching, so we could have a little bit of interaction. And I don't know, it'd be fun to debate these things live. Poor Robin Crosby. All right, really, I can go for hours talking about metal, but all right, thank you for not watching, and I'll probably come back and watch myself and be embarrassed and maybe even delete this at some point. But fuck it. All right. I'm Steve, sign off till the next video. I'll see you.